Hi, thank you for meeting with us. My name is Ann Mason.
Hi.
Hi. So we have some different questions for you that you're not used to hearing. We want to talk to you specifically about direct funding. And
Actually,
why,
yeah.
we want to talk about why you're encouraging the regional agencies to be so wasteful when they be very wasteful throughout all of this. All the money that's being spent right now, with the money just being spent, you could direct fund every single kid on the wait list and in service. You could help every single child. But instead the money is being wasted by the regional agencies. So why are we going to a completely direct service model?
I mean, why aren't we?
No, why are we going to direct service? Why aren't we going to direct funding?
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
Yeah. I have had this question raised with me, and it's something that I have raised with the minister. But we have worked with the agencies. This is the system that has been put in place, and I understand that there may be advantages to direct funding.
Yeah, but you're wasting taxpayers' dollars. It costs 66% more to do it through government-funded centers.
Well, but there's a coordination aspect as well, that and there's a support system.
It does work in other provinces. It's proven.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you is I have had this raised with me. It's a conversation with the minister, but there are also models where agencies can provide support to families. I mean, my big concern right now is that we have a transition for every child into the services that they need.
But why can't they transition directly into direct funding? So right now, your ABA program that you're planning to enhance, it costs $4,000 for one child to go through that program. For every child that goes through that program, the government says they're getting 3 to 4 hours of therapy per week for 8 to 12 weeks. But in reality, they're getting an hour of parent consultation. That's not helping anyone. And that's the system that's being enhanced. It's still parent consultation. It's not actual therapy. This is not what these kids need. $4,000 to buy 100 hours of ABA therapy.
So the system that we're putting in place is about getting kids ABA on a continuum of intensity. So we know that there are kids who need more intense
So if
ABA.
they need 20 hours a week like they're currently getting, they're going to be able to get that?
Well, that's exactly the transition plan.
Why would you
needs to
choose
be
a
in
program
place.
that costs so much more?
Well,
The same kids, you could direct fund just like they do in BC, in Alberta. Saskatchewan is moving to direct funding. All sorts of states do direct funding. It works from a business standpoint alone.
Okay.
It works.
So I appreciate the input. As I said, I have had this input in the last couple of weeks because I've talked to the protesters wherever they've been at my events. I have had this input. It's something that I've raised with the minister. So
why don't you halt the program for now until you figure it all out?
Because there are kids who need service right now.
But there's not an actual plan in
waiting
place.
for 3.5 years.
And I
do you
don't
understand
Yes,
that?
I do. And
And you're taking this away from us. This is our kids'
you're not
future.
getting this, though.
Yes, I am. You do not get it.
No, I'm saying you're not getting the service right now. Your child's on a waiting list, right?
No, direct fund
He's
them
in
all
his
right
first
now.
cycle and he's getting cycled
But
out.
there
It's
are
not
kids.
fair.
There are kids behind. There are families behind you who are not getting.
Why are
any
they more
service.
important than us? We've
They're
waited
not.
3.5 years.
They're not. They're all important. But nobody should be sitting on a waiting list getting no service for 3.5 years.
Right.
And
Not
nobody
your
should
child
miss out
and not
either.
any child behind you.
Right.
So that's why we're putting $333 million in
Kathleen,
I don't want to hear
please,
about it anymore.
please,
Okay, well,
Kathleen, can you please, sweetheart, please.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
why do you think we're upset?
I think you're upset because you want service for your children.
Yes.
I know that. I understand that. I absolutely understand that.
We want service that
So
works.
Yeah.
if that's
You're
true,
enhancing a program that doesn't work.
Okay. So I'm going to take that input. I appreciate
don't
that you're
leave them
here.
behind. Don't leave my son
Well,
behind.
and
You
what
pay
I'm-
for him now or pay for
But
him
what
for
I'm not willing to do is to leave kids on a waiting list for 3.5 years. I'm
So
just
don't
not
leave
willing
them
to
on
do
the
Don't
that.
put him back on the
Direct
waiting
fund all
list
of
for
them.
3.5
But
years.
that's not what the transition is. It's not about putting him on a waiting list. It's about getting him service.
You know that's not true.
No, I
You're
don't know that
smart.
that's not
You know that's not the plan that's going to actually follow.
Stop believing everything
roll
the
out.
regional agencies tell you.
2018
They have no
was not
idea
a
what's going on for our
transition
kids,
period.
by the way. When we say what's next, they don't know.
And they're taking the government's money and they're being so wasteful with it and they're being rewarded for it.
So what we're going to be pushing the agencies to make sure that you have a transition plan that
That's
whoever
not going to happen.
The
They're too
transition
concerned with
plan,
all of their
the
income.
transition plan, there's no, that's not a transition to more nothing for my son.
No,
The
and that's
general
for me.
made
That's not a
recommendations.
transition
If you were
plan.
in
The
my-
transition
if
plan
you
is
were
to
in
get
my place
service.
And you knew my
So are
son
you on the
even-
waiting list?
Yes, for
Yeah.
2.5 years. We've been on the ABA wait list for 2.5 years. We've received zero, not
Right.
1 hour.
So that's what's unacceptable to me. And so
what's
you're saying what we're
unacceptable to
doing
me to
now.
transition him to 2018 is not going to work. This kid's smart. He can give, but you're not letting him give.
But you want him to stay on a waiting list.
I would want him.
You'd
to stay on
rather
the-
him stay on a
yes.
waiting list for 2 more years than
To
us
get
try
the
to get him
IBI.
service.
Yes.
And how old is he?
He's 4.5.
Okay. So
He was
what he
diagnosed
needs is
before
he
he
needs that intensive service.
Yes.
And so I want him to get that intensive service. I'm not willing to let that window close and
Intensive
keep him on
service
a
is
waiting
not
list.
3 hours
But you
a
can
week.
help
No, I
every single
understand.
person. You
And
can
then
help
I go
all of
back
these
onto
kids.
the wait list for 2.5
Forget the
years.
wait list. You need to direct fund so these
Okay,
kids can get
so
the
I hear
service
you.
that they need.
And
We're
we
not
agree
hearing
on
us.
that. Well,
So,
I am hearing
then
you.
why
I
go
agree
through
that
all
you
these
need service
regional
right away.
agencies?
You're saying you'd rather stay on a waiting list for 2.5 years, and I'm saying I don't want that for your
if
son.
I knew it was coming, now it's gone.
Well,
There's
what if
no
you-
IBI for him. It's
But-
gone.
Well, but what?
I'd rather wait than not get it.
But the line, you know that the therapies have evolved. You know that the line between intensive ABA and IBI has become quite different than it was 10 years ago. And what I'm saying is I want your son to get the right intensity of therapy. That's what I want. And I'm not talking about 3
So
hours a
we're
week.
talking-
That's
yeah,
not intense
no.
therapy.
And we're talking about a spectrum disorder
Exactly.
that kids don't fit in a 2 to 4
Exactly.
box.
And so I want that continuum. I want you to have the right transition plan, and I don't want your son on that waiting list for 2.5 years because
I
his
believe you.
biological window
I think
is
you've told
closing.
yourself that so many times that you believe it, and I believe that you believe it. But the actual reality of it, the rollout of it, is not.
I
what
hear
you
what you're
believe.
saying. Okay, and I'm working very hard to push to make sure that that rollout is what it needs to be, so that you actually have a plan in your hands that works for you. And I know you don't trust what I'm saying right now, but my hope is that
Because it's not good enough.
Because
Well,
the regional
what you're
agencies are
hearing
going to take
right
all
now is
this
not good
money
enough.
that
I
you're
hear you.
putting towards it, and if you think about $4,000 for 8 hours of consultation, does that make fiscal sense?
No.
Is that where our tax
Well, if
dollars should
that's-
be going?
no,
That's
no,
in
it
the
is not.
Attorney
It is
General's
not.
report.
But what you should
received
be-
that report back in 2013.
but what-
You know about it.
I understand that, and what you should be getting is service, and so that's what I'm pushing the agencies to
Funding-
deliver to you.
funding
and you
for service.
think the answer is direct funding. I get that.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you. As I said, I have heard this before. I am in conversation with the minister. I am committed to getting you the transition plans that you need and getting your
We
kids
don't
service.
need transition plans. We need the money to stop being wasted by the regional agencies.
Okay. I've heard that message. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Please help our kids.
Yeah.
And
Thank
we
you so
dream
much.
that our
Please
kids will
help
say,
us. What about
Mom or
Clay?
Dad or I love
Thank
you.
you so much.
Amir,
Thank
what about Cliff? You met with Cliff. You know that he
I'm
started
I'm going to be
IBI.
meeting with
He
his
started
parents.
IBI after 5, and he's going to university.
I'm going to be meeting
So
with
How
there's
is
a
that
pair of us to
not?
get in.
Thank
How
you.
is
Thank
that
you.
not
Thank you
valuable?
very much.
Thank you. Thank you.